Wife tells you to get rid of something, you get rid of it. That's right. Sounded like some small hands, didn't it? I have only learned one thing in 20 years of marriage, and it's this. Happy wife, happy life. If you're married, you already know that. And if you're not married, you better write it down. Not on some flimsy piece of paper. You go out and get a stone tablet and a chisel. Be number 11 if you count them. Bible says right in chapter 2 of Genesis, chapter 2 says right there, man will leave his father and mother. That's the verse I'm reading to my 15-year-old every night. Says here, you're leaving, Jack. Got to read all the way to the New Testament before he said you can come home again. Man will leave his father and mother, take a wife, and together they become one flesh. You don't get any closer to anyone that walks this planet than your wife. Ergo, happy wife, happy life. My dad tried to tell me the same thing in his own way on my wedding day. He came to me and he said, son, I have only one piece of marital advice for you. Before you argue with your new wife, and believe me, you're going to argue with her. Before you do, I want you to stop and ask yourself 2 questions. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And then he broke down and sobbed right in front of me. It was pathetic. And I had no idea what that man was talking about. 19 years later, I can tell you, I'm a happy, happy, happy man. I ain't been right in 12 years. Times I have to ask my wife, am I happy? Oh, you better believe you're happy, okay? Just checking with you, buttercup. Call my buddies up. I can't go golfing, but I'm happy. And don't get me wrong, we argue, my wife and I, and you have to argue in your marriage. If you don't argue in your marriage, it'll build up in your brain, and over time it'll make you goofy. Yeah. Then you wind up like those babbling, mumbling couples you see in Florida. You know what I'm talking about. 50-plus years of marriage, and they're walking down the street, and the wife is up here. She's fine. You ever see the husband 8 feet behind her? Whoa, that poor guy's all hunched over. He's vibrating, mumbling. Oh, he's telling me what to do. Well, I'm going to start telling you what to do. I'm a man. You can't tell me what to do. I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm a man. He's just trying to win back all the arguments he's been giving away for 50 years. Guy was 6'3" when he got married. Now he's 4'1". Just leave a toilet seat up if I want to leave a toilet seat up. Tell me what to do. I hope you sit in the water every day. I don't care. That's when she turns around. What'd you say to me? I didn't say nothing to you.
First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rokakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who I learned from. Shalom to the whole for elect, preaching this word in truth and sincerity. And to you brave, to you sisters out there, learning silence and staying in order. Right. Now, this lesson just came to me through the Spirit. I have co-workers and things of that nature that are from the other nations, right? Basically Babylonians. And this concept of happy wife, happy life comes up. And, you know, they're telling each other the stories that, hey, I don't even do this, or I don't even do that. Like, and I'm just looking at these guys. I'm like, man, that's pretty weak, man. I pray that no brother out there is in a predicament where, you know, he has a scorpion for a wife, man. But this message is basically to new brothers who don't have a rib, you know, and if they burn, you know, the scriptures talk about, you know, then let them marry, but just to make wise decisions when you do so, right? Because even Solomon himself said, out of 1,000, he didn't find not one righteous woman. So this is a big deal, man. You know, when trying to lay up with something and trying to build with a female, man. That's really something to really consider when you got this truth, man. Because you really should be married to this truth first and foremost, man. If you're single and you came into this truth, you're in the truth. You know, it's best you live solitary and get you some concubines. But that's another lesson, right? I want to start off with Isaiah chapter 3, right? Straight to the point. It's Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. For as my people, children are their oppressors. And why are children their oppressors? Right? Because this kingdom here has removed the father figures and separated the males from the leadership role to a point where not even the wife or the kids respect the man. So the man is left to wander and figure things out and completely broke and destitute because the government or your states profit off of child support. Like, it's a business. This is why they do it, and it's working for them, right? This is how children become monsters. They don't have parental figures. They don't have strong leaders. So children just become monsters, right? Start again from the top. Isaiah 3 and 12. For as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Because a lot of the times, women know that they're pretty much financially stable, even if the man's not there, because the government takes care of them or forces the man to, give his finances to a certain percentage, which I understand because you got to, the child and babysitters and all these other things. But, at the end of the day, man, these women are out of order, man, and Esau knows it, and he uses it to his advantage to destroy people. But this is, this is life, man. This is why it's best you keep to yourself, man, and focus on the scriptures. Because no matter what, these women are unruly, man. It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of the paths. Right? Because at the end of the day, the women are ruled by Esau. So basically, at the end of the day, Esau is the one that's pushing this movement, man, and causing father figures to deteriorate, man, emasculate. This is what the whole rainbow community is about, man. It's demasculating, right? The prison system is full of like food engineering, right? They put things in the food to lower testosterone in men, so they'll be easier to subdue, right? But these are all devices of the wicked, man, and he uses the weaker vessel to destroy men. This is why you gotta focus and realize that you are Yasharallah, Prince of the Power, man. You gotta move a certain way. Don't let these women dictate how you move or anything like that. So I'm gonna go to Proverbs 7. Start at verse 21. It says, with her much fair speech she causes him to yield, right? And this is a story about a woman who has a husband who, she wanted to have some like a side buddy or whatever it is. But this goes to women out there in the world, man, that don't have the understanding, that's living a Babylonian life, man. It's the ones that you got to stay away from. These women are liars and have multiple partners, man, and pretend they don't, right? Verse 21, with her much fair speech she causes him to yield. With the flattering of her lips she forced him, right? Women got this certain gab about them that, they could pretty much sleep with anybody, man, or move however they want, because, it's just men lead. People say men lead with their, with their private parts, man. And women see that, man. It's much easier for them to make things happen, man. But a man could fall heavily into lust to a point where he's destroying himself. It says, with her much fair speech she causes him to yield. With the flattering of her lips she forced him. She goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or a fool to the correction of the stocks. Jump down to verse 25. It says, let not thine heart decline to her ways, go not astray in her paths. For she has cast down many wounded, yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. That's why you gotta be careful out there, right? Don't give all your. You know what? Let me get that. Don't give your strength. This is Proverbs 31:3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Right? Don't give your funds, don't give your time, don't give anything to these women. Because why? It destroyeth kings. You have to be focused, right? Like a horse with the two blinders. You got to be that type of focus. And if you catch yourself in a situation where, you know, shit's just too hectic and it's getting in the way of either you learning or you teaching or any of these things, man, you're better off leaving that situation even if you go for broke, man. Be honest with you. 'Cause at the end of the day, you got to keep your eye on the prize, man. And that's to get this crown. To be crowned by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That is the goal, man. And these women are too caught up in this Babylonian lifestyle, no matter what. You know what I mean? No matter what, you know, she tells you, man. At the end of the day, these women are tied to this place. They don't get me wrong. There's some women out there that, you know, they are righteous, and you know what I mean. I'm not bashing all, but I'm talking about these Babylonian ones, the ones who live and think according to this world, who cannot let go of the simple things that this, like, trying to build off of this place, man. Either A or trying to just party all their life, man. Just be in that spirit of myrrh. These women want to do is dance, party, play, right, and get paid. Stay away from women. You know what I mean? Don't take none. It's a lot. It's hard to find a righteous woman, man. That's what I'm saying. We go to the book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 21. It says, stumble not at her beauty, stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for her pleasure. Right? Because what happens, man, you just get caught up in this lust demon, and you know, it's just downhill from there. This is verse 13. So 25:13. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. I want y'all to keep that in mind, man. I'm not woman bashing. This is just trying to keep new brothers from trying to start something when we're at the end of this. Just be very careful with what you start. Just know that there is no divorcing. And you pretty much could be stuck with this woman. So with that, I'm going to say shalom, and on to the next.